Hey guys, it's Clockwork Music, and in today's video I'm going to do my 2025 best song on every Beatles album. So firstly, from Please Please Me, I've gone with Please Please Me, the title track. I just think that this song has some amazing harmonics, and I just think it's so energetic. It was one of my favourite Beatles singles they've ever released, and I think this album as a whole does have some great songs on it, although a lot of them are quite underrated, and a lot of people tend to go to like I Saw Her Standing There or Twist and Shout, but in my opinion I think Please Please Me is the best. But with the Beatles, I've gone with It Won't Be Long. I think this is such a great song. It's very, very energetic, and it's the first song on the album. It's the opener. It's a very strong song. A lot of people would probably say All My Loving or Till There Was You, and those are probably some of my favourite Beatles songs, but this year I decided to go with It Won't Be Long for 2025. So energetic, and it's a great opener. On a Hard Day's Night, I've gone for a bit of a different one again this year. I've gone for If I Fell. This album is probably the best out of the three first albums. I think the weakest one might be With the Beatles because there's a few covers on here, but I think this album's full of all originals, which is very strong. If I Fell is quite a bit more of a beautiful song on this album, a bit more of a slower one than all the other energetic ones. Although another song I like on this album is I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, which on my worst Beatles album video, a lot of people said was their least favourite song, which I don't understand why. On Beatles for Sale, I've gone with I'll Follow the Sun. It's a very acoustic number, very relaxing and sweet. I think Paul wrote it when he was quite young. I've listened to the demo and it's very nice. I think the thing about this album is there is quite a lot of bad songs in this album, but there's a lot of good, strong ones like I'll Follow the Sun, 8 Days a Week, and Every Little Thing. I think that I Follow the Sun, though, is a bit different, and I think it's another change this year. I think every song I've picked so far has been a different song. On Help, I've gone with I've Just Seen Her Face. Again, another change. I've really changed my Beatles kind of like taste this year. Like a long time ago, I'd go for the originals, and I've gone with I've Just Seen Her Face. I think this one is heavily underrated. I think it has great guitar parts on it, and I think Paul bosses it. I love seeing this live when Paul played it, and I think it's a great song on the album. I know Yesterday is also a strong contender for being up there. The Night Before is a great one. Help, Ticket to Ride. I mean, this album's kind of one of the Beatles' most strongest albums before they went into that kind of other phase. Speaking of their different kind of style and their other phase, we've got Rubber Soul, and I've gone for Norwegian Wood. I think just the sitars on this song and just how beautiful it is, and the lyrics are so amazing. It's such a different song, and when probably people listen to this album for the first time, it was probably a bit weird because the Beatles kind of just wrote their pop numbers, which were like designated in their early days. This one is so different. It's such a different song. Very, very interesting song, and I've gone for this one. On Revolver, I've gone with a bit of a weird and wacky song, but that's the reason I love it. I've gone with Tomorrow Never Knows, the Psychedelic number on the album. This album, again, is the strongest, one of the best albums ever. It's my favourite Beatles album. I think this one has a few interesting songs in it. I'm not a fan of Dr. Robert, which I said was my least favourite in the first part, but this one has a lot of whimsical numbers like For No One, and Tomorrow Never Knows kind of stands out on the album as like on its own. The only one I could probably say is similar to is Love You Too, because it's a bit different with the sitar. On Sgt. Pepper's, I've changed my verdict. I used to say Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and also Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is my favourite, but finally I've kind of settled into A Day in the Life. I've always loved this song because of how just amazing it is and groundbreaking it is, but this year's I've kind of appreciated it a lot more, and I just love Paul and John's parts of the songs. I think they just make it amazing. On Magical Mystery Tour, I've gone with Penny Lane. This album is very, very strong. I do love Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever on this album, but I think I have to go with Penny Lane. It's not as groundbreaking as Strawberry Fields Forever, but I think it's a bit more of a memorable song and a bit more of a sweet song in my opinion, and a bit more memorable. On the White Album, I picked two, as I usually do, and I've come with Helter Skelter and I Will. Two very, very contrasting songs. Helter Skelter being a very, very metal song, and I Will being a very quiet, calm, relaxing McCartney number. Although I think this album is very, very strong, and I could pick literally any song on this album, like Blackbird and Happiness is a Warm Gun, and all sorts of songs like that, even Dear Prudence. But this year I've gone with Helter Skelter and I Will, just because I've kind of been diving into like the more whimsical, like quieter songs, and also the more like louder songs like Helter Skelter. On Abbey Road, it's something. I mean, this is George Harrison's best song of all time, I think. It's, in my opinion, clearly the best song on the album. If you don't like George numbers, then you might not like it, but I think this song is quite hard to dislike, really. I mean, the album's packed full of numbers anywhere, like I'm joking, not Maxwell Silver, Come Together, and like all sorts of other songs. Even Sun King is really different and like cool, but it's quite a hard album to judge because like it's got the like ensemble bit, it's got the medley, the big part of it, which is hard to pick a song out of because they're so short. But I've gone with something for this. And then the last one, on Let It Be, I've gone for The Long and Winding Road. I think this is a beautiful song. I think Paul does it well, although I feel like it could have been a bit better without Phil Spector on it. I mean, I like the Let It Be Naked version, I think that one's much better, but still, it's a beautiful song, and this album is a little bit weak in some parts with the shorter songs, but I mean, at this point in the Beatles, they're really it was the end. We kind of lucky we got this album, really. It could have just not happened. But yeah, I've gone for The Long and Winding Road here, and those are all my picks. So if you want to go watch my other videos, where I pick my favourite and least favourite song on every Beatles album from the years ago, then you can go check those out. This was the 2025 version. My opinions have changed quite a lot. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.